Welcome back, everyone, to Two Tamers Talk.
Hey, guys.
As always, joined here by my man, Jeff.
Hey, what's going on?
Sorry, we're a little groggy. We're a little tired. I mean,
Long day.
we're not going to flex too hard, but not only did we open 2 cases of BT10 today, how many people did we have at locals?
20.
Ooh,
10 times the amount of cases we opened today.
what a flex. What a flex. We have been doing Digimon
Yes.
all day from sun up to post sundown.
Yes.
It has been a long day, and what better way to start this new format, BT10, than a revamp of our amazing UI? Like, look around, we got new surroundings.
I love it. I love.
You like it? All right. Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is kind of the new iteration, and this is just like we're just getting better, and I am super excited. I mean, our numbers are getting better, the gameplay is getting better, the decks are getting better. Everything's getting more competitive, and everyone's just having a lot of fun. I was really happy with the group that came out today.
It was a great group.
I mean, let's just talk about it. How'd you do, man?
So, guys, so every time I've loved playing yellow war gray with the red base. I love the security attack +1 of the starter deck Greymon, getting the multiple swings. So this is finally the first time that I've actually like played the X antibody war gray with it.
Okay.
Oh my god, this one guy, he's actually been featured on our channel as one of our finals, as Gallantmon, right? I played against him. I had the most beautiful, everything just went perfect. The stars aligned to win my round. And I think everyone was just in awe about the crazy plays that happened. And it was like, that happened. But I went 3-2. So 5 rounds, won 3, lost 2. Very competitive tonight. How about yourself?
I also went 3-2. I think you went 7th, and I went 8th, I believe.
You were right
out
there.
of 20.
Out of 20.
So I'll take that.
Yeah.
I played my Machine Boy tonight. It's the end of the format. I had to do it. You know, I don't feel bad about it. I mean, that deck, when it bricks real bad.
It does.
And it is what it is. It's still fun to play. I still represented. I'm still the only one in the shop that really represents Machine, and I'm going to continue to because it is such a fun deck to play, and I think my ratios are good. Just is what it is.
Very excited to see the upcoming changes.
Oh yeah, I got some changes coming. As soon as everything's legal, I'm ready.
Yep.
I'm ready to make some changes. But overall, man, we're all tired, but man, what a day. I mean, the shop owner was throwing out extra boxes of, you know,
he was ecstatic too.
20 people on a Wednesday.
20 people on a Wednesday.
Go. Yeah, I mean, it's only getting better. Everyone's so stoked. I mean, and just on the precipice of everything, like just going back to what we talked about before, we opened 2 cases of BT10. What were we looking for?
Yeah, what's everyone looking for, right? We were looking for the Ghost Alpha. We were looking for Ghost Alpha.
We're gonna tease it because we're not gonna tell you because you have to watch the video.
You have to watch the videos, guys.
But one was pulled today.
It was.
So we're not gonna tell you when it was pulled, but there was one pulled in the shop today.
2.
So we did get to see one live in person today.
It was wonderful.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. So overall, it was a crazy day of Digimon. From the minute we woke up and got dressed, today has just been Digimon. I got a pile of bulk I still have to sort. We're horse trading brand new SRs and alt arts and everything else, and just all the synapses have been firing today as far as what decks are you going to build. You know, you really don't know until you get those cards in your hand.
You don't, and then you start laying it out, and then you start saying, you know what? Maybe this wasn't a good idea, or maybe I'd need some of this. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't realize what you were going to build until you're like, I want those Decker Greymons. So I'm like, for what?
Because it's Greymons with laser beams. Come on, man!
Freaking
it just
laser
happens
beams on
to
their
be
freaking
blue.
Heads. Yeah, no, I love it. So we are on the cusp of this BT10 thing. I mean, obviously we got a sneak peek at the cards today. That sneak peek will be live for you guys before you see this video. So
yes,
I guess we don't have to tease it too much. But anyways, it's gonna be live for you guys. Feel free to check out that video. I'll put a link in the description. But it took us over an hour to open 2 cases.
It took us a while.
Next time we're gonna conscript some more help for sure.
Yes,
because by the time we were done, we were we had to go eat. I feel like we needed to hydrate. We needed
to not talk about cardboard for a little bit.
Oh my god, I was so parched. It was a lot of cardboard, and it's still sitting in my car. So I will sort that tomorrow after a nice long night of sleep. But content is what we need.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
You're the most important. So speaking of that, I mean, we got BT10 right around the corner. we had a lot of discussion tonight about pre-release because our shop does something very unique in the fact that we run 2 pre-releases. We run one that's traditional with the 6-pack, and then we also do a fun one because 6-pack is recommended, but it's not required. So we also do a full box pre-release where everybody gets a box and they build a pre-release deck in an hour out of that entire box.
Yep.
So we've gotten a lot of good results with it. People like it. It's kind of our premium pre-release. You know, it's not cheap, but it is also very rewarding because you walk away obviously with at least 2 alt arts.
Yep.
You get to play something really crazy. And you also get a little bit more consistency in your deck. It's not just like, oh, here's 6 packs,
don't
shuffle
even get
them
enough
together.
Eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we do have a lot of pre-release coming up just overall. So we kind of wanted to give a rundown of like, well, I mean, Jeff's going to lead it because he's the pre-release king, right? I'm just always like, Jeff, what are you doing? And he helps me out. But
I'm very excited to talk about this, guys. This is a topic I'm passionate about, is how to build a pre-release deck.
How to draft,
Yes. So now, if I'm saying something, just a heads up for everybody, it is referring to both the 6-pack and a box. I will specifically say if it's for one or the other, right? So the best thing you can do, right, because you have an hour to build your deck, is to open up your 6-packs, open up your box, whatever it is, and sort. So what I recommend first is don't even, I know, trust me, brand new cards, we all want to take the time to admire some pretty cards, just sort. Sort by level first, right? Just put all your 2s in a pile, your 3s, your 4s, 5s, 6s, options, tamers. Start there, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to look at what did you pull as far as, did I get any like tribes? Did I get enough blue flare to play blue flare? Did I get enough of the cross wars, cross heart to play that, right? But really what I would do is in a pre-release setting is not necessarily focus on one particular strategy or one particular tribe. Instead, focus on individual cards that make you shine.
Yeah.
The pre-release format is really such a strong format where you could just swing with a, 8K body and it lives. And it can do that alone, can win you the game 4 or 5 turns because, or if you turbo evolve into the right 6 at the right moment, right? So best thing you can do is sort your cards first and then start looking at what options did you pull. Right, so there are 2 things that are really, really important in pre-release decks, right? And I got my note cards here to look to as I'm going through this. You want to look at your removal that you have for what options you pulled. Like, for example, there's that blue 7 cost option, the Decker Dre launcher, that can return a level 6 or higher. That might be a little situational, but could still be a good card depending on how many you pull.
Yeah.
You want to look at your removal, and you want to look at your draw power. Your draw power can come in options. Usually it comes in how fast you turbo evolve, how fast if you're playing certain, on plays that let you draw cards. But like, let's say you get 3 of a really good option that you just really want to use and they're all red, right? Then that really helps narrow down what to play for each level. So if you're playing a lot of red options or blue options, pick a color, right? Whichever one you pick, so that way you can be consistent. Because for those of you who don't know pre-release rules, when you evolve, color doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But when you use an option, the color does.
Yeah.
So if you get 3 blue options that you like, I think my deck could be really defensive if I play these 3 options, or this is great if it triggers in security, right? Then you want to play a lot of blue eggs, or you want to play a lot of blue 3s, blue 4s, whatever, right? So now what you start doing is you pick your options first. Okay, I'm going to play these options, right? That's my color I need to pick. Then you can kind of start bouncing around from there. So let's talk about some good level 2s. So just looking at the level 2s from this set, the best generic ones I probably recommend is the Baby Demon. It's a good blue. It says, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in their play, draw 1.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Good draw power, right? Especially if you're already playing blue options, such as that plasma launcher. I can't forget the name off the top of my head. Also, the yellow Pikmons, because there are going to be a lot of cross hearts.
Pikmon.
We did. We are going to have a lot of cross heart, a lot of things to trigger the DP boost. So now those are good ones to play. But again, this gets overruled if you have certain options you want to play.
Right.
Because there's going to be times where you hatch an egg and it's not going to be the color you need to play an option. And now if you're playing 6-pack, yes, sometimes you just can't avoid it. Sometimes you only get 3 eggs. You can't do nothing.
A lot of times
about
in the
it.
6-pack, you just leave the options out because it's not consistent at all.
It's not consistent enough, right? So now let's move on to some level 3s, right? So level 3s. Every single format always want to max out on your 2 costs.
Yeah.
In this case, it's the Mushroomon.
Is that the only 2 costs in the whole set?
So there is another 2 cost, Belucomon.
We got a
the
new
Belucomon is 2
yeah.
to evolve, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
If you're going to play the Belucomon, make sure you have enough level 3s that cost 0 to evolve. Like the Spotamon's 1 to evolve. Sometimes you might just have to play it, right? Especially if you're only playing 6 packs, you don't get enough level 3s in general. But you want to fit as many of those 2 cost Mushroomons as you can. Having just the ability to memory choke your opponent, throw an extra 3k body on board to really provide that aggression, super, super helpful.
Also good to remember in the pre-release format that there is no 4-card limit.
Yes.
You can play as many Mushroomons as you pull.
So this might not, apply to our 6-pack guys, right? Who I think most people do 6-pack. You might not get, 6 Mushroomons, right? But if you're playing a box, you might. Yeah. So if you get the Mushroomons, I definitely recommend play it. Unless you really need to, if, again, you picked a color for your options and you really need more room for the options, definitely, try it out and see what you think about it. Another good level 3 is the yellow Tinkermon from this set. On play, security attack -1 to a... I'm looking at my note cards right now. Level 5 or lower.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Just
Especially
that ability to stall 1 turn, play a body on board. That's killer for pre-release. Yeah. Another good one, the Kokuwa has a really good inheritable. When you delete a body, you gain 1 memory. The Gaussmon, good for blue flare if you did pull a lot of blue flare stuff. Good level 3 as well. Again, if you're playing blue options. Also, the Pulsemon. The Pulsemon can be a blocker.
We got another Pulsemon.
So if you end up pulling, some of that pulse memory boost or whatever, might be worth it if you pull enough pulses. But I don't.
Is it impulse memory boost?
Impulse memory boost, yes. But I don't necessarily recommend building your deck towards that.
Right. Yeah.
Right. These are just good level 3s to have. Right. So a lot of things with pre-release. A lot of times, I go with the strategy of how many blockers can I get in a deck. And sometimes just having a lot of blockers like that will win you games because your opponent isn't prepared to deal with blockers, especially if you have Pulsemon or even this Ballistamon. This green crossheart kind of deck, right? He's a blocker. It is a little specific, though. You have to have the crossheart name, or excuse me, in traits, either your Tamer or Digimon, another one, so that you can gain the blocker.
Gotcha.
But I think with this format, it's going to be doable. So another great 2 cards to talk about. They're both the same idea as Turbo. We got the Vegemon and the Goemon. Both are 1 to evolve.
Nice.
In pre-release. A lot of times, you're just going to be giving your opponent 1. You're going to be at 1. It's whoever gives too much memory first kind of starts to lose the tide. Being able to Turbo, being able to draw is just super strong. A great another level 4s is Dorulumon. It's only 4 play, and it's draw 2 on that. So that's really cool, too.
Yeah.
So this Darkmon has a good when attacking, security attack -1. Again, if you're playing a 6-pack, you have to play just what you got.
Yeah.
Right? And, I'll go into ratios here in a sec, but another good level 4, since we're talking about, is Armor Purge. We finally have a purple Armor Purge that is just a 2-cost Evo.
That could be really good in pre-release, though? Yeah,
that's really good in pre-release. Yeah. Speaking of Armor Purge, there's a level 5 Armor Purge. This one, it's only 3 to evolve, so it's not horrible. Armor Purge pretty good as well. There's tons and tons of good options. But level 5s, we have 3 different cards that are good for turboing. A red, purple, and a yellow.
Yeah.
So if you're playing certain color options or if you're going for a certain strategy, great ways to turbo there. We also have this Sanzomon. Super, super interesting. When Digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1, only 3 to evolve.
Yeah, we got a lot of that security attack -1.
When attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 as an inheritable. There's a lot of ways to really interact with your opponent, shut them down. A lot of times in this type of format, you just need to stall.
Yeah.
You just need to stall. So
with a little bit of extra time.
Yep. And if you get enough of the Beelzemon stuff, it might be worth to play Ballmon and Beelzemon, but that's just more of an honorable mention. Yeah. So let's talk about last. There's Tamers to play.
Ooh. So what's the most important thing when it comes to Tamers? I know I've always looked for one thing in pre-release.
So a lot of times when I do pre-release decks, I don't play Tamers. Unless, I just don't have, if it's a 6-pack, right, where you just, you have a memory Tamer, why not play it as a one of? Yeah. But if I have a whole box and I don't have to play Tamer, sometimes I won't.
Well, that's kind of the difference, right, between the box and the 6-pack. Because with the box, it's like, what do I put in? And with the 6-pack, it's like, okay, well, what do I take out?
So we have 2 memory setting Tamers. We have the Ruli and the blue flare dude. Which I dropped the card, so I can't remember his name. So those are the 2 Tamers I think I would try to search if I were you. The Ruli's pretty good. You can suspend bodies when you swing with the level 5. Just kind of like a generic level 5, like the Kyoji and the Hero. We do have some of the crossheart guys that might be worth playing. Is if you get enough of the yellow tamer and you have enough Dortulumon to draw 2 cards. But I think as far as tamer goes, don't try to you have a 40 card deck in pre-release, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of room.
Nope.
If you try to fit in a lot of tamers, a lot of options, you're just going to run. Your consistency is going to be horrible. You're not going to have enough to evolve. Just focus on quick, cheap, turbo, maybe higher DP, armor purge, things that are sticky, good removal, or just enough colors consistently, blockers to trigger your options, right? That's kind of what you want to focus on.
Yeah.
So now with pre-release, what I would do is I would stick with your normal ratio of level 3s. Again, if playing a 6-pack, you're not going to have your normal number.
Right.
If you're playing a box like we are and you like 14 level 3s, play 14 level 3s. I know it's a 40-card deck, so you got to cut 10 cards, but you want that turn 1 level 3, especially if you get Mushroom Mons.
Yeah, then you're just too costly. You just drop them out.
And then you can just drop them out because you'll just win. Remember last pre-release set, we had 4 2 costs. All my 3s were just 2 costs.
Yep. Boom,
it
boom,
was
boom,
killer.
boom.
Just rookie rush them, right? So that's a very, very effective strategy.
BT8 was it BT7 or BT8 where the 8-mon was that was
having that high
card
DP
in,
level 4. It just that thing would live.
Yep.
Right? Just having that big body that would live
2
like
cost
that
Digivolve
is insane.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I'd focus on whatever your happy numbers for level 3s.
Yep.
If for the 6-pack guys, play all your level 3s that you get. I don't care. I don't care if you pulled. You're not going to pull 20 level 3s, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you pull 12 level 3s, play them all.
Yeah.
Even if it's Blucomon and the Spotamon, where it costs to Evo, you're going to be happy you have level 3s when you need to draw, when you need to evolve, whatever. Even if you don't get the effect that you need when they did evolve, it's pre-release, right?
Yeah. One thing in this pre-release, too, that I think that we had in the last set with the Angewomon X Antibody came out of nowhere in pre-release last time.
It healed a lot of people.
There's not a lot of healing in this. I don't think there's any recovery.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think there's really any recovery.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
I don't think we do either. You're absolutely right. And now once you start going into level 4s, then you can kind of start making some cuts, right?
Yeah.
Again, on your level 4s, focus on if you have enough to do a tribe, to do your strategy, do that. If you have colors, focus on your colors, right? If you're your options, if you need to, focus on high DP, quick evos, being able to draw when you need to. Armor purge, I think, is going to be fantastic. We're going to see how that works with that, right? But maybe do 10, so you kind of start working your way down, maybe 11, maybe 9. I don't know if I do 9. I still think I do double digits for the level 4s. And now once you start getting to level 5s, right? I'm a fan of doing 6 or 7 level 5s.
Okay.
Again, depending on the color. Again, pre-release, right? If you get some
6
really,
or
really
7's
good
pretty
stuff,
high in a 40 card
it
deck.
is.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. This is where I might be an unpopular opinion. When I do my pre-release decks, sometimes I play 2 or 3 level 6s.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of my heavy swing with the 5s or the 4s, right? And if I get the 6, it's going to be such a great effect, or it's removal, or it's a high power blocker, like even the Cannondramon that's coming out. That's a blocker. It's almost like a Mechanori could be good. High DP of the Griffinmon, right? All those things are great, but I really don't think you need to stress yourself out about trying to fit in 5 or 6 level 6s.
Can I throw a different pre-release strategy your way?
Absolutely, please.
Okay, so we got in this set another 5 cost level 5 black.
We did.
And we think we got a 5 cost level 5 purple too.
You're right. We did the Deva.
Yes. So
with
I mean, if
Sandramon.
people want to play Zoo
in
in pre-release,
you very well could.
You got those 5 cost level 5s, and you can play any level 6 you want on top of those.
That is a bold strategy, Cotton.
So maybe you go traditional, and I go. I'm gonna go Rover.
We'll definitely report back on how the pre-release went. Right,
it's an option. I'm just letting you guys know it's an option.
I think last pre-release,
Warumanzemon is no longer on an island by himself. We got a Gogmamon to keep him happy,
and the Nightmon from the starter deck. Obviously, we're not getting that for pre-release, but Black Zoo stuff.
Yes.
No, but I think last pre-release I only played 2 level 6s. I played a War Grey X and I played a Piranhamon, the Metal Piranhamon, because I got that to trigger.
Yes.
And that did me a lot of work.
Yeah.
I was super happy with the results of that. Now, by doing that, you now have room to play 3 of an option, or whatever options you pull in a 6-pack. Whatever again, obviously space is limited. You have a little bit more room for tamers. If you pull a 7, you got room for a 7. Right, by doing it this way. So that's personally my pre-release strategy.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your thoughts, Jesse.
I just gave you my thoughts, man. Zoo all the way,
Just
brother.
go zoo and call it a day.
No. I mean, pre-release is such, I don't want to say a crapshoot. It's more of just like a,
what you get's what you get.
like everyone's just having fun, man. And that's what I love about the box, because everyone's
always a
walking
blast.
away with a whole box full of goodness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that there is definitely like a lot of the strategies you just laid out are kind of what I go through mentally when I do it. And that's why, like, you and I are usually the first couple done with our decks. Doesn't mean we're the best or, like, we're the most successful with them, but we're out, you know.
Yeah.
We're out having some water and chilling outside while everyone else is finishing up.
Yeah.
Like, we've done this so many times before. We're just like, all right, we're going to go 2-cost Evo or 2-cost level 3s, cheap Evos. Like, we're just going to put together a turbo deck, like fast and furious.
Fast, big bodies. We had a 9-cost green level 5. I think his name was Zamilmon last said.
Yeah.
That guy did so much work for me. Oh, my goodness. I think he was 2 to evolve, too, if I can't remember right.
Yeah.
But, man, no, it's such a crazy time because, especially when you're playing 6-packs, you can't build a tribe. You can't build a deck combo that's supposed to pop off with all their cross-heart, material save stuff. You're not going to be able to do that. A box, you might be able to get close, but I almost feel like you're going to hurt yourself if you try too hard to build a normal Shoutmon deck with just one box. If instead you just build a, like I'm just going to build some stacks that are just going to have some random colors and some high DPs or cheap Evos and draw me a bunch of cards and swing, by the time you've set up all your tamers and you've tried to find all your pieces because you're not consistent enough, I've already won the game, right? So,
I mean,
that's
luckily, this format, we don't have to deal with Death X and pre-release. That thing was nasty.
Yeah, I forgot I pulled 2 of those last pre-release. That was killer for me.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
except for people that actually tried to do that little 2-cost level 3 method against it. Didn't really work out very well. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're done with that. I think last pre-release was literally Death Xmon and Andrewomon X Antibody just reign supreme.
It's a great way to play. I really love this I love this format, and it's really exciting because when we do the whole box, you get to use your pre-release packs.
Yep.
You get to use the promo pack that comes in there. You get to use that little memorial pack.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting, like who gets the starter deck Greymon in their box. Yeah. That's going to make a huge difference, right? Or that Gamamon even. That Gamamon's an extra... Well, I guess everyone's going to have a Gamma.
Everyone's getting that one, yeah.
That's one extra level 3 everyone's going to have, right? Or if somebody gets a Gaia Force in their box.
Yeah.
That Gaia Force could be huge. Even if you don't have a whole lot of red and it's just a 1 of in your security, it's still a Gaia Force,
That's removal that nobody else has. Or
Yeah.
very few people have. Yeah, man. It's I'm excited. That's coming up this weekend. I'm gonna bring the camera. We're gonna tape the last. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna commentate on it. I mean, we're gonna see
commentate on it. There we go.
We're not gonna be able to describe the decks. It's just gonna be pre-release A
It's
against
just gonna be like
pre-release
that
B,
was a good move.
But we're gonna comment. I'll post the deck list and be like, check out what this guy built.
Yeah,
like, killer.
Definitely let us know if you listen or if you like any of these ideas, or if you decide to go a different route, or if I give you some horrible advice, come talk bad about me in the comments. But I would love to hear all your guys' success stories, how your pre-release goes. Please keep me involved.
That being said, too, just a quick plug, while we're here. This is going to drop on Friday. That means if you're watching this the day it comes out, then there are probably still tickets available for the box pre-release. I think we're probably at 16 plus right now.
WaywardCityGames.com. Please sign up and buy some tickets.
Yeah, come out. Play the full box tourney with us, man. It's a blast. There's a play mat up for grabs. There's all kinds of good giveaways, pizza, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's good
Free
stuff.
beverages.
Yeah, love it. All right, moving on to our favorite part of the segment. Our favorite segment of the podcast. Well... Do you want to go first? Or should I go first?
Oh, you know what?
You always go
I always go first. You're right. It's your turn.
I'm going to go first.
You go first.
Cards of the week.
Let's go.
I'm going to have to switch up all the slides. No, it's fine. Cards of the week. So, we kind of go back and forth during the week about, like, what's our card of the week going to be?
Like 6 times I changed it today.
Yeah. And in lieu, like, obviously, like, Machine Dramon is my deck. We talk about it all the time.
Yep.
I haven't premiered Machine Dramon yet because I feel like that's too easy of a card. So I'm going to do my other favorite part of that deck. And it's actually, I'm going to say it because it's the card that actually made me fall in love with the deck.
Yeah.
Because you played the deck back in EX1 when it first came out.
I did.
And then BT7 came out and you thought this card made the deck worse.
I did.
This card made me love the deck because it has such good removal.
It is.
We're going BT7 Chaos Dramon.
Absolutely fantastic card.
It is a great card. It's a 1 Evo from the Machine Dramon. It is just it's what makes the Kaiser Nail play possible. It's what makes the removal of all the rookies possible. It's what makes the deck just go, and
Does.
And, we're a month away now from the next Chaos Dramon coming out, and I find myself really torn on nights like tonight where I bricked, right? I bricked really hard on 2 of my 5 matches. I bricked really hard on my Machine Dramons.
Yeah.
But those Chaos Dramons that I did pull really put in work. It is so nice to go into that BT7 Metal Gray, just drop it for 5 because I got an Analog Youth out, and then on the next turn, play that Chaos Dramon, boom, wipe out 2 6 costs or less, and then be able to tuck something underneath it. It's a menacing card.
Yeah.
And especially if you throw it on top of a huge stack, then you're just deleting a million 6Ks or less,
How many Yosemons can you delete with that?
All of them.
All. Oh.
Yeah.
How many did you delete today with that?
As respect to my opponent, we had a good game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's a nasty card. I mean,
It is.
and it's especially good as well against a lot of the purple yellow stuff because all that 6K is that magic number for them, right?
Yeah.
Because that's all they can pull with the
And
flame
you're also
Hellside.
hitting that.
Yeah, so I mean, you're killing the Maycracks, you're killing the Magnaanjas, you're killing some of the Devimons, right? Or the
For the purple yellow?
purple, yeah. Well, whatever, the 6 cost, yeah, or
6 cost. Give it to 'em.
6 case, yeah. Great card, love it. And like I said, I don't know how many I'm going to take out. I might run 2 and 2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to have to be something. I'm going to have to really just. People are going to get irritated because I'm going to have to play Machine Dramon so much because I'm going to have to mess with these ratios.
The exterior is going to be fun.
Because then this one doesn't have the protection, but man, just having that 1 cost Evo, like I can choke my opponent so many times. The best part about that card is like if you have the Machine Dramon in hand, you can either evolve onto a level 5 for 3 and then evolve for 1, or you can just evolve for 4 and skip the Machine Dramon for the exact same cost. It's so versatile and it's such a great card. I'm gonna have a hard time replacing it, but that's my crutch. I mean, it has saved me so many games when I just can't pull that Machine Dramon, even though I Analog Youth or I Haguru the hell out of the deck or I Izzy the hell out of the deck, and I just can't get the Machine Dramon. I always seem to find the Chaos Dramon for whatever reason.
Not a bad backup.
And it's not a bad backup, and I just love how threatening it is. So that's mine. Jeff, what's your layup this week?
Okay, guys. I went a little bit harder this time.
Okay.
So, in honor of the last week of the X Antibody set, I'm going with the X Antibody option.
Okay.
The chase card, everyone was talking about a pre-release, and now we're getting such a nice alt art for it. Okay, so this was a card that I was very hesitant to use. I saw tons and tons of lists before the set was coming out. I was very excited, like, for example, to play Grandis at the start.
Okay.
And I was like, man, like, like every Grandis list I'm playing is playing like at least 2 of this, right? And I was, trying it. And there was times where it worked and times where I was like, I wish it was something different, whatever, right? And as I started practicing more and more with the X Antibody, I was like, okay, I see this as a good card, but I don't know if I'm convinced it's my playstyle, right?
Yeah.
So today, it won me games. It won me a good number of games. It made awesome plays. I played a 2 of in my deck, and I found myself like, if this is an X Antibody, I can make a huge play. Or if this is an X Antibody, I can go all the way up into this level here. And I want to say the best part about tonight with the X Antibody option was, Jacob, if you're watching this, my brother, I always hit Jack Raid, or I always hit Hammer Spark playing against him. I finally got to give it back to him. I finally ended his turn by gaining 1 memory with the X Antibody and security.
There we go.
So satisfying. So the X Antibody option, I've been really starting to like that card way more now that I'm starting to mess with it. I don't know what it was with this set, if I just was trying too hard to be different, or if I just, was not letting myself play the meta X antibody decks. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that, right? But I just wasn't doing it. You know, because I think I'm more geared towards like the Black War Gray style,
Right?
where they don't really play that like X antibody option, whereas like War Gray X does, or Grandis does too. Or
I've
Melvin,
analyzed the
right?
hell out of your decks. Okay, I know your decks, and I know why, because you
Yeah.
have the same problem with. You say you have the same problem as I do as far as running that thing. Is we try and maximize efficiency. So
Yeah.
there's like, where do you find room, right?
It's
like
so
that's
hard
the
to
hardest
find.
part.
It's
It's
so
like,
hard to find room.
It's like, how many level 3s are you going to take out to play X antibody? And like
Yeah.
Jeff only plays 18 level 3s. So,
I play it's,
but you know what I mean? Like, where do
Yeah,
you find
yeah,
room
yeah.
to play these two options that don't kill anything?
Yeah.
That don't, you know what I mean? They're adjunctuary,
yeah.
you know, options.
So I don't know if I'm going to post the deck list I played tonight. I would love to, but there's just so much great content we got for BT10. All the great decks out there. We don't need to rehash old decks. So if anyone wants it, you can message me or comment or whatever, and I'll tell you what I play. But right now I'm playing 2 X antibodies and 2 Gaia Force Zeros in the deck, and it was so tempting. It was like, why am I not playing like 4 Gaia Force Zeros or 3 Gaia Force Zeros? But
Yeah.
that X antibody came up so many times. I mean, there was times where I was like, I top decked it, and it was like the greatest thing I'd seen all day.
Yeah.
You know, especially after we opened 2 cases of of BT10,
Yeah.
where like drawing that 2 of X antibody was terrific.
Right.
So that was definitely a card. I know we just shot, for example, our commentary on the finals. We were talking about Cool Boy. Same kind of boat for me, where like both those cards, I was just like, I get why they're good, but it wasn't necessarily like something I was geared toward. But I think, of course, by the end of the set, I'm finally starting to fully grasp how good those are. So
Yeah.
that's my card of the week. X antibody, good card.
I agree. I know. And I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, we're going to
Wait.
get into the market here in a minute. But
I'm
man,
so sorry to interrupt. Can I say one more thing?
Let's do it.
Okay. You know why I also need to talk about this card? We were talking about Millenniumon.
Oh, God.
Quick shout out to Millenniumon. If you want to bring back that Millenniumon over and over again, keep throwing an X antibody. I just remembered, had to bring up that stupid point. You're up.
Oh, well, we were talking about. So it's kind of a nice lead into our market watch because that
Yes.
X antibody
Yes.
was on our eye. I mean, we knew about that thing
Yeah.
as far as like we're talking pre-release, right?
Oh,
Because,
that was,
like,
yeah. We were like, this is the card to look for.
absolutely.
This is
right?
the card to look for in pre-release.
Because we're always looking at these pre-releases, right? Because there's 56 cards in every pre-release set, and we're always like, okay, so ever since BT6, we've gotten foils of everything, right?
Yeah.
And so we're kind of looking at like, you know, what are the big hitters? And we've kind of noticed this trend, right? Where it's, you know, the rares that are already foiled to get the pre-release treatment don't really excel in value, right?
Yeah.
It's the uncommons that don't have the foil treatment
Correct.
that get the foil treatment because they're pre-release
Yes.
treated. They get the love, and we just so happen to notice before the tournament with the last set that this amazing option that everyone uses in every X antibody deck is an uncommon.
Yep.
And sure enough, that X antibody pre-release was $40+ almost through the entire format.
Yeah.
right?
And I think honestly, it would have retained that value had that altar not been released.
And that's where
Or-
the
or
rub
teased.
is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're like when that drops, is that coming in ST14? I think
so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming ST14. So I mean, but it's going to be hard to pull. I think
It is.
It's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be right there among all the other options that we get to see. But I mean, so if we're looking at that and we're playing those odds, I mean, we get a list of uncommons here. What do you think are going to be the big pre-release pulls in this set? Because I remember
Yep.
that metal gray. I mean, we got the alt art now. I
Yeah.
mean, I got a few of them. I'm really happy about it. But that metal gray was a big one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
was the Megadramon. Those were really
The
good.
Megadramon.
Alt arts. Those were rares, I believe, that still got the treatment. But man,
The Megadramon's an uncommon.
the Megadron's uncommon, yeah, but
Yep,
the Metal
yep.
Gramon still, the pre-release was a great value.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're looking at uncommons for this set,
Yeah, so, don't be like me last set and try to ask everybody for the Raidenmon pieces because that's what I really wanted. I'm so glad I got them. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. But that's what I was looking for last set. But this set, for the dumb card that I'm looking for, is Griffinmon. I love that Griffinmon. He's an uncommon. I love that dual color 10 cost. I got a lot of zoo decks. So I'm going to play that.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about what they should look out for.
This is the dishonorable mention here at the beginning before we dive into the seriousness.
That's if you know Jeff and you want his money, what to look out for.
Yeah, that Griffinmon.
Yeah, there you go.
But
I think the biggest thing that I noticed from this set is that we do not have full art eggs.
We don't.
And
it's like BG7 again.
Yeah, like what is this? So I mean, we got some decent eggs here. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the Baby Demon's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some cross heart stuff.
If you're playing cross art and you want to max rarity your deck, you're gonna get 4 of those Pikmin.
Yeah.
Pikmons.
Pikmons.
Pikmons. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Or if you're playing Bogger's Armor, you're gonna probably play the Tokos. Maybe Monotamon for the Dark Knight, right? Yeah. But I really think the card of this set, the one that I think is going to maintain the most value, if I were to guess right now, and I could be wrong, could be that Pikmon egg.
You think so?
I think so.
Out of everything?
Yeah, that Pikmon egg I think is going to be so, like, because you're literally going to play 4 of it, right?
Yeah.
In Cross Wars, right? That's the egg you play.
Okay.
Right? And there's no full art. There's no full art of the egg. So I think that's the one people are going to want.
I think if you're looking at that too, I mean, okay, so I haven't built Shoutmon yet.
Yep.
Is that X4B going to be used?
The
Cross 4B, sorry.
I don't think that one's going to be used.
Okay. So we're not looking really super big there.
Now, it could be, right? Like, maybe it's one of, but I really think as of right now, as far as the meta goes, and I know the Japanese meta and the US meta always differ, right?
Yeah.
Like it starts off the same, people go off their list, and then things adapt as time goes on or as the meta develops. So maybe eventually, but really, like, you have the altar for the X5, that's the black and red.
Right.
Right? And then you have the red-yellow, which is already a rare, which is in that sweet spot of, yes, maybe that particular pre-release could be worth a lot, the red-yellow X6?
I don't
3?
I think it's something like that, yeah.
Whatever the red-yellow one is, right? That one could be because some people are crazy where it's already foiled and they want the pre-release stamp. I'm not necessarily like that, but...
I mean, when it comes down to it, there's nothing that like jumps off the screen like the X antibody in the other set,
nothing
or the
like
metal gray. That's
obvious.
I mean, obviously, when that metal gray came out, you're like, that's going to be used in every red and black deck that has a dragonkin in it. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, when you're looking at this set, I mean, you do
as you're scrolling though, looking at that blue flare stuff.
You get some blue flare stuff.
I think blue flare players like myself are going to be dedicated.
Well, the Decker Drummond. No, Decker Greymon is the one with the altar, right?
So the Decker Grey is going to have an altar, yes.
Yeah.
But the male Birdramon, right, and the Decker Dramon, right, I don't think... It's tough because I don't have my list put together exactly yet, right? If I'm going to play 4 of, 3 of, 2 of those. But those I'm going to want as pre-release because it's just so pretty, and you want all the foil with all the great artworks of that set anyways.
Well, and you want the Canondramon for your Raidenmon,
the Canondramon for Raidenmon. There we go.
More Raidenmon. Okay.
And then Bloomlord players looking at your green, your Palmon, and your Jatarmon.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I butchered the name.
You probably did.
Definitely the Palmons. I think the Palmon's a 4 of. You're probably going to want 4 of the Pals.
Yeah, it's a good card. Yeah.
And I know Maidmon players are crazy with the Sakuya stuff. The Renamon, the Talmon could be very useful too, but I really think it's the cross heart stuff that people are looking for.
I agree. I mean, you got the Bogger Army stuff too. You got a little bit of love there. Skull Bellucci. I mean, the Bezelmon is not going to be because it has an alt art. It has like a legit alt art.
Yeah, why would you want to get a pre-release if it has an alt art?
Yeah, that's
like the Tamers, right? You don't want a pre-release of the Tamers.
I mean, maybe the plug-in.
I mean, they're nice. Like if you have nothing else, do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to put anyone down for that, but
so overall, I mean, this isn't going to be a huge pre-release set. I don't think. I mean, you'll get a couple. I mean, it's probably going to be the eggs. I think that's going to be
It's
really.
gonna be the eggs. Yep.
Is that going to be the big hunt card? I mean, the hunt cards.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right.
Not a ton of value, I think, in this pre-release, which is good for collectors like me that don't want to spend $20 to $30 like I normally do on some of these high value cards.
Yeah, right.
But overall, I mean, it's going to be a fun pre-release. I think it'll be a little less stressful as far as trading goes. I remember last time it was just like, how much is that pre-release card worth? $30? No, it's not. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, but overall, I mean, we got a fun pre-release ahead of us. I'm super stoked, and I mean that kind of just ties it up for us. I mean, I think we've been doing Digimon literally all day.
Yeah, guys.
And we have pre-release in, like 72 hours?
Yeah. Well, by the time this is aired, it will be the next day.
Yeah.
On Saturday, so.
Yeah. So, forgive us if we're a little drowsy today. We cracked 24 boxes of BT10, and we still have to sort them. I got my premium boxes today. They're still sitting over there in the corner. Right? I haven't even had a chance to open them. We're exhausted. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so
much.
We
love you guys. We'll catch us on the next one. We'll try and be a little more energetic. Thanks again.